Hello everybody, this is Pam from Nana's Crafting Cottage, back with you again for another fun project. Welcome to my channel. If it's the first time you're stopping by, I hope you like it. I need to get my lights on here. There we go. And let me get my other one here. There we are. Okay, so today we are going to work with playing cards, just regular playing cards like that, and we are going to do a project for my tag journal. So hopefully you will like to get some supplies out for this type of thing if you have them. If you don't, then just cut out some paper and you can stamp on it whatever you want to do and use that. Pardon me. It's very early in the morning and I wanted to get this video out. I didn't get to do it yesterday. I wasn't feeling too wonderful and got busy with some other things as well, and so there you go. Okay, so you take a playing card like this, and this is one that I did just kind of messing around with it so I knew what I was going to do. And this is also another, it's a little vintage playing card that was gifted to me a long time ago, and then these little tiny ones here I got on Amazon quite a while back, and I thought, why not layer those? I forget to even use these little ones. I have a whole bunch of them. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside for now. I'm going to set it over here so that the glare doesn't bother you. There's going to be enough glare here. Okay, so first of all, what you want to do is you want to sand out the glossiness from this card so that things will stick to it better. And I did it front and back because I'm gluing them down. Otherwise, if it was a standalone, I would still sand it and decorate it. But I'm only decorating the front, sanding both sides. So get out your sandpaper or your little Tim Holtz sanders, whatever you have, and we'll just sand away. And I wanted to do this process from beginning to end. I have some new viewers and I wanted to show exactly what to do. Okay. So we're going to do this, and like I said, it's very early, so I, pardon me, wanted to get this out early. So yeah, you just give it a sanding, sand as much as you want, but as long as it's enough for the glue to grip. Because with the slick surface, a lot of times the glue is not gonna adhere. We'll just kind of dust it off a bit. So we have that, and it's not as glossy as it was before. Let me get rid of this dust. And I'm doing it on this paper because there are some things that I'm going to be doing that I don't want to get it on my mat. Okay, so what I did use was some vintage sewing pattern paper. There's a glossier side here and there's a more matte side. I'm putting the matte side up or out, and I'm only using a glue stick for this, so get out whatever glue stick you have and just glue it up really good. Okay, just get it covered really, really good. All right, I use, my small one is Uhu, which is a good glue stick. Now I'm almost at the end of the last one here, but I also have the Scotch Create glue stick, which is amazing. It's very good. So I have a whole bunch of this, but I'm using up my little ones first. And this is my last one, so yeah, use what you have. Okay, and then we just lay that over and get it smoothed out. If it wrinkles up, that's fine. You can actually wrinkle it like this. Okay, so now we have this guy. Okay, and I'm going to trim around, leaving a little bit of an edge because I want to sand the edges off. It's just a lot easier to get a fine edge. Oops, stuck to me here. Okay, and then I want to make sure that the corners and that are adhered. And add some extra glue there. Okay. It's usually the corners that are a problem, so I just keep adding it. And here I'm going to get just a little bit more on the edge there. Okay. All right, so let's do that. Now let's get the sander back. See, quite simple. So you can get your sandpaper and just do it gently on the edges. And it just brings it right off. I love this method better than cutting because it gets a more true cut. All right, so we have our pieces, and it makes this card supple, soft. Okay, so let's get this dust out of here. All right, now the next thing I did was I took my Tim Holtz distressing tool. You can use your scissors by doing this with your scissors, making it, however rough you want it. So let's do the edges. If it tears or curls or whatever, that's perfectly fine. That's what we want. So we'll do this. See, it's just looking older and older all the time. Okay. All right. And then I'm taking my scorched timber and going to ink it really, really good. You can use whatever color or none, whatever you want to do. Okay. And there we are. Okay, so we've gotten that far. Now let's decorate. Okay, and I pulled some things out to use. Let me put my tag journal there. Okay, so I've seen it done where they have put book page or music or whatever underneath this and then put the tissue over it, but I like it on top because then I can distress it real good. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to tear this, and if you've followed me at all for any length of time, you'll know that I'm an inker. I like to ink, so, and I love grungy, and I think some of you do too, so yeah. And again with the scorched timber. Okay, here we are. Here. I think I'll put this one here. It's just an old book page, just a piece of it that I had pulled off of a very old Reader's Digest book, actually. And it's a story about a, was it a sea otter? Okay, so let's bring the glue stick back in. And get this glued down. And glue it really, really good. Get my scissors here, or tweezers, not scissors, though. Okay. There. And glue the back side here. Put it, I think I'll do the musical notes on the outside there. Okay. All right, so we have that. And I'm going to start laying out how I want to do this. I have a gentleman who's sitting, so he needs to have his arm resting on something. And I think it will be this card. So he'll be sitting like that. Okay. So I'm going to ink this up. This is one of those vintage small playing cards. I just had 2 of them, and I'm using them in this project because why not? I hadn't used them at all before. And I think I will also kind of rough it up a bit. Sky's the limit on these things, guys. I also have a couple of great big playing cards. I mean, they're huge. Almost 8.5 by 11. They're almost this size. Maybe not quite as tall or wide, but close. And I'm trying to figure out what to use those on. If it's going to be like a tab bound thing or what. Okay, so he is sitting and leaning on this. These little teeny tiny playing cards. And they come with little teeny tiny boxes to put the cards in. I was like, yeah, okay. But I just wanted them for this, and then I forgot about them. But then I remembered when I was messing with these that I had these. And let's ink it up, make it look all old. Okay, and then he will go here. And I'm going to use the top-down method for gluing. And if you've not heard of that before, then you will find out what it is. Trim this. And these phrases that I have been using on here are from the Tim Holtz Tiny Text stamps. And I just took the whole sheet without taking it, any of them apart, and just stamped them onto coffee dyed paper and then cut them out. And so I have them in a little container here. I'll show you. Right here, I have them in the bottom here, and then different words for various things. These are some too that I had typed and printed out myself. And then these are the Tim Holtz ones there. But I have different phrases for various things, like for bakery and farm, just based on the things that I have been making. But it's quite handy. I just pull it out and see what I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to scoot him over just a little bit, like that. Yeah, like that. And make a wish. We'll go there. And I am going to put this on the left side. So I need to remember to leave a spot there, and I think I will put him like that. Okay, and let's ink up these few labels that I had pulled out of Tim Holtz snippets. Or it's actually Curator snippets. So that's what I got those out of. Let's ink these up. Rough them up a little bit. Make them look even more grungy. Okay. So they aren't so pristine. And we have other ones in here. And they rough up really nice, so you can use your scissors or tool of some sort. There we go. And the last one. Now I will be putting these onto the page, and I do have some other things that I have put together for it from my scrap pile, basically, from things that I have cut from and inked and so forth. Okay, so I think I'll put here this one here, this guy like that. So that's what I will do, but I am going to use the top-down method. And I learned this from Barbara on 49 Dragonflies. And so what you do is you just work from the top down. I'm going to get him glued first. This way you don't have to try and remember, ooh, how did I have that laid out? Which is my problem usually. Okay, so we got him on there. Get our small card on here. Like that. And I'm going to do this. Here. Push up here. I love using these tweezers. I got them on Amazon, and some of it for small things like this. Okay, see, so we have the whole thing together, and then all we have to do is just glue it down to the base. Much easier than trying to remember, oh, and I've taken pictures. If it's a bigger page, I've taken, or a bigger project or whatever, I've taken pictures, but they never quite come out the same as when they were originally laid out. Okay, let's tack him down. There we go. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way. Okay, now I want to, sorry for the inky fingers. That's just part of the job, right? Okay. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to do this. And then I'll be putting a piece of hardware in here. So I'm going to get my Crop-A-Dile here. If you don't have one, it is the best investment you could ever make for your crafting. I kid you not. Oh, if I can do this now. I always get fumble fingers when I have to do this. Put that there. So I want to get it as straight as possible, but if it isn't perfectly straight, then it's no big deal. Okay, there we go. Right? And it cuts through the fabric pretty good. Just need to snip it here or there. Okay, and then straighten it. Let's put our hardware in. Stuck it in the back. Yep. Down anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. It's just mainly aesthetic reasons that I do this. Okay. All right. There we go. Kind of tattery, which is fine. There's our card. Okay, now let's get our page out here and see what we want to do with that. Okay, these pictures are taken from some scraps that I had. I had cut out some faces for another project, and all I did was, okay, there was a horse on one of them that was like this, so I cut that. And then there was a chair on another one from a porch that was on this side of it. There we go. I got 2 uses out of one old picture. Pardon me. I've got a frog in my throat. Okay. Let me grab a little sip of coffee here. Okay. Now, this, I want to do it like that. And I thought I would put the old chair over here and the horse over here, like that. And these are those frames from the new dies that I had gotten. And this is the biggest frame here, and I just sprayed them all. And I used every last bit of the paper because when I cut this frame out and this frame out, this gave me another frame. It's cattywampus and old looking, and it's perfect. So, and even the pieces for the insides of these, I sprayed, and I'm going to either stamp and do little label things or something. I just haven't decided what yet. Okay, so I want to take some cheesecloth here. Let me get this out of the way. And this is cheesecloth that I copy dyed a long time ago. Just rough up the edges, and I still have a great big wad of it. So it doesn't take much to, put it in a project. It doesn't take a lot of it. You can tatter it, whatever. Real easy. And I've been really loving using this. I think it will go like that. A little chair here. And I'm going edge to edge here because I need all the room I can get without going over the edge here, or on either side actually. Okay. Yep. I think that is how I will do it. That looks fun. Okay. Get my Fabrifix out. I just got a new bottle because I'm almost out of this. And it's great for fabric to fabric, paper to fabric, paper to paper. That's how I learned about it. And I was like, okay. So I started using it a long time ago. Right. Okay. Cheesecloth is not the easiest to get glued, but you can always glue it some more when you put it down. You don't have to do it right the first time. And edge here. Okay. A little bit along here while I'm doing it. Okay. I'm just going to leave that open because I'm going to be using it some more. Okay, get some glue off my fingers. All right, him here and this here. Okay, so let's get this one down. And see, I just glued it to the back around the edge. And it worked perfect. It was perfect size, so I was really happy about that. Normally I would use my art glitter glue, but because I have this out, I'm going to go ahead and use it. tweezers. Yeah, I'm going to close up my art glue so it doesn't get mad at me. There. We're doing pretty good time-wise. I didn't want to spend a long time doing this. That's why I got everything out first. I'm going to glue this down on this. And then we can glue here. This is a lot stronger glue for doing it on fabric or hardware or whatever you're going to be using. What's that? How fun. How fun. And I had already stapled my piece of leather up here, or suede actually. So all of it matches. Okay. Press that down real good. All right, and then she's going to go here, and he is going to go here, like that. All right, let's get them down. Project, really. Once you figure out, the hardest part is figuring out what you want to do. That's the hardest part. And I just started pulling things out, and then I discovered these pictures. I had them laying here on my desk, and I thought, oh, and I had the frames here also. I thought, why not? So let's put this big guy down. Glue that better and put some glue here. And like that. These are just from Dollar Tree. And there's also bigger ones here that I use. My sister sent me a bunch. So, yeah. Okay. Let's get this gal glued down, and then I can go around the edges and make sure everything is glued down well. Right. That is our project for today. Quick and easy. So there's that page. That's our page 4 right there. Pretty cool. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If it's your first time coming by, I'm so happy that you are here. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I love to hear from you guys. And I will see you on the next video, which will either be another page here or the other thing I'm working on. Don't know. We'll see. So I will see you either Monday or Tuesday, and you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you again soon. Bye, everybody.